Broadcasts of HIKI NŌ are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI NŌ. And HMSA, helping Hawaii's youth and their families stay healthy today, tomorrow, and for generations to come. HMSA, trusted for generations.
Next on HIKI NŌ, stories from across the island chain.
I got teased things like peg leg and hop along.
A man overcomes birth defects to become a world-famous yo-yo master and kite entrepreneur.
Plus, how an egg farmer champions Hawaii's buy local food movement.
Also, a long-distance canoe racing legend.
The dangers of texting while driving. Seashell jewelry from the sand to the hand.
A community comes together to help the helper.
A simple but effective tool for the deaf and blind.
And how the act of giving back can shape who you become.
All on this episode of HIKI NŌ, coming to you from Kealakehe High School on Hawaii Island, home of the Wave Riders. That's next on the nation's first statewide student news network, HIKI NŌ. Can do.
Aloha, and welcome to Kealakehe High School, home of the Wave Riders. Our school was established in 1997 and serves 1,400 students in grades 9 through 12. We are located on Mount Hualalai on the Kona side of the Big Island. We serve the largest geographical school district in all of Hawaii. Kealakehe's vision is harmony and unity through dynamic education and community for everyone, every time. We strive to come together as an ohana and develop well-rounded citizens who are high-achieving. The three Wave Rider R's are relationships, respect, and responsibility. These qualities are emphasized in our school's unique SIPA, or Citizenship and Ethical Philosophies Advisory Program. Starting as freshmen, students take this class for all 4 years and graduate with their SIPA ohana.
Our first story takes us to the leeward coast of Oahu, where students from Waianae High School introduce us to an egg farmer who understands the power of combining two words, fresh and local.
So everything over here is pretty much all hands-on, which is better for quality control anyway.
And for Mark Takaki, that's what it's all about here at Maile Moa, quality and control.
And our brand is Shakamoa eggs. It's almost like a perfect food. It comes in its own package, you know. It has a high amount of protein for something so small.
He and his family have been packaging this perfection locally for almost 2 decades now.
7 cases. There's 30 dozen in a case. And each case has 360 eggs. So
a lot of work is done to get all the eggs from the chicken to the customer.
Every day we wash them, size them, grade them, and then depending on the order, we'd either put them in cartons or on flats. That's the average day.
Average would have been great just a few years ago because the egg industry was in a fragile state.
Feed prices went through the roof overnight, and well, basically we needed to downsize because we couldn't compete with the mainland eggs that was coming in so cheap.
It's not just eggs. Hawaii's food import rate has grown to over 90%, according to a Honolulu Associated Press article in 2012.
With the cost of fuel and everything, and the shipping going up, it's just going to make our food more and more costly.
So costly that right now, according to Senate Bill 524, Hawaii consumers pay over $3 billion annually to import their food.
Until we get our own feed mill or grow our own feed in Hawaii, we're still going to be faced with that challenge. If people get more aware, maybe we can increase our percentage of the market. If we could grow our own grain for all our livestock, not just chickens, but our cows and pigs and goats and stuff.
Mark knows there's no immediate answer or a one-size-fits-all solution.
This is jumbo, extra large, large, medium, and small. We had to find an alternative. We had to find a niche market where we could get more for our eggs.
That meant going cage-free to separate themselves from the flock and ensure their survival.
I think it was a big hit, that's why.
After such a hit, that Mark's chickens have to be hidden from the public so that no one imitates his process.
I enjoy when our customers come, when they say, you know, we don't want to buy from the mainland eggs, we prefer your eggs is the best, you know. When that happens, that makes us feel good.
And Mark hopes that he and his customers can help egg on the rest of Hawaii.
That's our happy chicken. That's our happy worker.
From Waianae High School, I'm Kaunui Foster, reporting for Hikino.
And we're back on Kealakehe's Ahupua'a, where the Kainalu Multimedia Culture Center is a unique building on the Kealakehe campus. Opened in 2012, it represents a partnership between the Department of Education and the Hawaiian homestead La'iopua. The building is a hale for learning, where our school-wide morning broadcast for citizenship and ethical philosophy takes place, as well as a variety of video and computer courses. During the afternoons and evenings, the La'iopua residents use the Malia Center to learn their native Hawaiian languages and chants, along with the 21st century computer skills. Our next story takes us to Honolulu, where students from Punahou School talk story with an outrigger-canoe-paddling legend.
In 1958, 17-year-old Joseph Nappy Napolean competed in his first Molokai Hoe, the long-distance open ocean canoe race from Molokai to Oahu. Since then, Uncle Nappy has competed in the annual race every year.
My first Molokai race was the best, actually, my first Molokai race, because I really didn't know what to expect in that race. But I think the best one and fun one was in '66. And there was, well, I feel there was a roughish year. I cannot forget because we turned over 3 times. I have movies where the waves, the white water just passing the canoe and hitting us on the side and we're upside down. Before and now there's a lot of long distance races now. Before you had only one long distance race, was the Molokai. From June to August, we paddled sprint races. And in August we have our championships in August, regatta races. And then now October, we train all the way till October for the Molokai race. So we had a lot of time train. Sundays we would make long runs, like 3-hour run training. Now it's getting hard to be up in the top, the top in fact in our age bracket now, because we're a little older than whatever we're racing against. But maybe someday they make a division for us guys if they have enough guys. When you're young, you're up there, you're fighting for the first. Then as you get older, then everybody start passing you. But age bracket, we usually do all right. Well, like I always share, that's all I know what to do. I wasn't good in baseball when I was young, played baseball, basketball, but luckily I always was involved in canoe paddling, and I enjoy going out there in the water, surfing and whatever. My favorite part, I like the start of the race, yeah. And of course, finishing the race, you see everybody and you come up here and enjoy with everybody. Yeah.
After 55 years of paddling in the race, Uncle Nappy shows no sign of slowing down. This is Alexis Kaneshiro reporting from Punahou School for Hikino.
We're back at Kealakehe High, south of Kona Airport, where the Wave Rider Learning Center is open for 3 afternoons a week. It's an opportunity for students to have access to resources outside of a normal school day. Between 50 and 75 students come for 3 hours to do homework, use textbooks, computers, and receive tutoring from subject area teachers. Some say it's a really great place to learn, and transportation home is provided. We travel now to the west side of Maui, where students from Lahaina Intermediate take us through the steps of making jewelry that starts in the sand and ends on the hand.
The beach, a beautiful place to find shells. Today, we're going to show you how to make seashell bangles. First, walk the beach to find scattered puka shells. Then, take them home and clean them with bleach and water. Using your wire roll, cut a piece of wire that will fit your wrist. Bend the wire into an oval or circle. Then, using your wire tool, bend one end of the wire to make a stop. After
After being cleaned, put as many puka shells as you wish to the wire. Put a wire ball, available at craft stores, at the straight end of the wire. Then, attach the end with the ball behind the curved stop. Now you have your beautiful puka shell bracelet. Enjoy! This is Kiana Bell reporting for Hikino from Lahaina Intermediate.
If you'd like to comment on this story or anything to do with Hikino, please join the discussion at facebook.com/HikinoCanDo. Or you can send us a tweet at twitter.com/HikinoCanDo.
And we're back with Kealakehe's Culinary Arts program, where the main purpose is to follow the ancient Hawaiians' ahupua'a system, bringing sustainable, fresh, and healthy food from the farm to the table. The students from the Culinary Arts program have access to world-class chefs. They train and participate in performance-based competitions, hands-on projects, and catering jobs. In addition to building skills for career and technical education and STEM-related projects, students learn the craft of culinary arts. Our next story takes us to the Kalihi district of Oahu, where students at Kamehameha Schools Kapalama tell us how a community service project at their school can shape who a person becomes after graduation.
Our hope was that we could just have one day to give back to Pauahi, and most importantly, not just to give back to Pauahi, but to give alongside Pauahi. She, in my eyes, is the epitome of what servant leadership is.
While the term servant leadership may be all the buzz today, it was an idea that our school's founder took to heart over 150 years ago when she passed on her fortune to educate Hawaiian children. Following in her footsteps, Kamehameha students hope to fulfill her legacy through their experiences during Senior Service Day.
Senior Service Day actually started as a massive trash pickup day in Waimanalo, and it was an effort that we did just to see how our students would react. So it's an ohana effort that has really taken on a life of its own.
With over 1,500 collective volunteer hours serving more than 15 community organizations annually, the efforts are massive. But some ask, does one day really make a difference?
We're going to devote this day to at least planting that seed of servant leadership in our students' na'au. And maybe a year from now it'll nourish and grow. Maybe 20 years from now they'll reflect back on it and remember, oh, I remember that day.
My senior service project was at Hanauma Bay. We did a lot of, I think we did weeding or something like that. Even though it was something small, it contributed to the overall look of Hanauma Bay, and through that we can share our culture more with the visitors that come here. After I graduated, I felt like I had to keep staying involved in things, so I found community service opportunities where I would be able to connect more spiritually with what I was doing so that it became more of a lifestyle rather than going out and just doing community service.
While alumni may appreciate these lessons outside of the classroom, current college-bound seniors may not realize the significance of going beyond the books.
Why is this your Kuleana? Like most students would say, oh, what's the point of me doing service? It's not helping me any. Well, if they look deeper, it actually does help them a lot. I mean, it helps you grow in character as a person. And these types of lessons cannot be taught in the classroom. So I think lots of students and lots of alumni still do service because it helps them to feel the happiness that comes from giving service, and they want to recreate that by giving more service to their community.
It really did help to shape who I am today. The important thing is it taught me how to not go around and volunteer everywhere, which is, I'm sure everyone would like to do that, but to focus on specific places where I can dedicate most of my time to make more of an impact.
Volunteering time and labor may not earn straight A's or a college degree, but it can help to cultivate the servant leaders needed to fulfill Princess Pauahi's legacy and shape the future of Hawaii. For Kamehameha Schools, I'm Kiana Lidstone Kayabia, reporting for Hikino.
We're back on the west side of the Big Island with Kealakehe's internationally celebrated robotics team. The Tiki Techs began in 2010 with only 4 original students. Now, with over 60 members, including myself, we are competing in 17 different competitions this year. We're also hosting our very first STEM camp, reaching out to the community and inspiring kids to explore the amazing curiosity of science, technology, engineering, and math. We travel now to the east side of Oahu, where students from Kalani High School show us how a simple card makes it possible for a deaf and blind person to cross the street safely.
My name is Ramon. My last name is Ramales. My sign name is an R of my chest. I am 19 years old. I attend school, Hawaii School for the deaf and the blind.
Because it's difficult for Ramon to talk with others, he uses special deaf-blind cards to communicate if he needs help. One card that he uses is to help him cross the streets. This is how he uses it. With his cane, he'll find the curve of the street, find the notch in the deaf-blind card so he doesn't block what is written on it, and wait until someone taps him. Once someone acknowledges him, he will drop the deaf-blind card that is hanging around his neck and hold onto the person's arm so they can cross the street. When they're done crossing the street, Ramon will politely say thank you, and Ramon and the helper will go their separate ways.
If I'm waiting and standing for a while, and I want to cross the street, please help me.
This is Megan Shinagawa from Kalani High School for Hikino.
And we're back on the west side of the island of Hawaii, where Kealakehe's Polynesian dancing class is a special program that allows students to participate in a learning experience that enhances and improves their personal culture knowledge. It started out small with the original purpose of providing students with another option for meeting their physical education requirements. And now the class ranges from 55 to 75 students. Students travel around the South Pacific, learning the many unique and traditional dances of the islands of Hawaii, Samoa, Aotearoa, New Zealand, Tonga, and Tahiti. Kealakehe hosts their annual culture celebration May night, where the students from the Polynesian Dancing Club contribute their number that they learned in class. Our next story comes from the Valley Isle, where students from Maui Waena Intermediate tell a story that proves what goes around comes around, in a good way.
Today is a really special day for, a real special family, and, Habitat Humanity is celebrating their Build-a-thon weekend. And so we're here in Kahului to really help a family who has gone through some difficult times. And as you can see, with the many, many volunteers here today, I'm just fortunate to be just one of them.
With over 100 people participating in this Habitat for Humanity two-day rebuild on One Street in the older section of Kahului, Lieutenant Governor Situi really was just one of the many volunteers working to construct happier homes.
I'm sure you guys have been waiting for this day to make this happen, because your lives are going to change, because you have changed lives.
Cindy Klein, who is the director for Women Helping Women and Insights to Success, and her mother, Christine Cabrera, a retired nurse, are in need of this help. Their 61-year-old home has never been renovated, but today it is getting a much-needed and deserved facelift.
Very honored that this is happening. We are even more amazed that they're going to do it in 2 days. When we saw just the wood alone for the floors.
Because of the strong foundation Cindy built within the community with her years of service at both Women Helping Women and Insights to Success, the community was able to return her support.
You only get things done when you do the work.
I know, but I don't need to be dirty everywhere.
These volunteers set about to fix everything from the leaking roof to the worn out floors for Christine and Cindy, who is
really an unsung hero. She does everything so quietly and so
privately, and nobody ever gets to see her, but she's done a lot of work with needy people in this community for many years. So Val, who's painting over here, filled out the application with Habitat when Cindy moved home to help refurbish this house, because you can see it's very old and dusty and it needed to be updated so that it's healthier for them, because a few years ago she got sick with a disease called pulmonary hypertension, and it affects her lungs, so she cannot breathe. She needs a double lung transplant.
Cindy's health deteriorated and she was taken off the transplant list. Now she has come home to live out the rest of her life. As Cindy and her family cross the threshold to their new home, her outlook seems a bit brighter. Wow! This is Renee Matsuda from Maui Waena Intermediate School reporting for HIKI NŌ.
If you'd like to comment on this story or anything to do with HIKI NŌ, please join the discussion at facebook.com/HIKINOCanDo, or you can send us a tweet at twitter.com/HIKINOCanDo.
And we're back above Honokohau Harbor, where Kealakehe's JROTC program was established in 1997. Each year, over 100 cadets participate in classes and numerous activities with the Wave Rider Battalion.
Parade! Rest!
The cadets go camping, rappelling, shoot air rifles, and have special teams which compete against the 26 other JROTC programs in the state of Hawaii. Over 3,000 hours of community and school service are performed in events such as veteran support, Ironman assistance, parades, and special events.
We take you now to Kapolei High School on Oahu, where students illustrate the dangers of texting behind the wheel. Warning, some viewers may find this PSA a bit shocking, but the effect does help to drive home the message.
So finally, after 4 years, I'm finally ready to graduate from high school. I got accepted to USC, but I won't be going to pursue my dream because I'm about to die in a horrible car accident. Wasn't even my fault that the driver was texting.
And we're back at Kealakehe High during Spirit Week, and it's a big deal. Spirit Week is a celebration of student activities and creative costumes. It gives students a chance to express themselves and represent their grade levels through food competitions, games, and dress-up days. We always end the week with a lip-sync contest, a powder puff game, and of course, homecoming. Now, though we are competitive, we're all Wave Riders at heart, and it's about coming together as one big Kealakehe Ohana. Our final story takes us to Windward, Oahu, where students at Kainalu Elementary tell the story of a man who overcame his disability and rose to the top of his field.
This is one of my favorite tricks. This is called eating spaghetti. You make the spaghetti noodles, you put some Parmesan cheese and you go, mmm.
That's cool.
This is walking the nice little doggy.
Alan Nagao, a professional yo-yoist, discovered at an early age he had a special talent for yo-yo tricks. He played with his yo-yo because he could not do a lot of things other kids could do.
Whoa!
I was born with a physical handicap caused by a drug that my mom took, was prescribed to her from the doctor. It was called Thalidomide. I have an artificial leg, and I was born basically with these physical handicaps because of the drug.
In spite of his birth defects, Alan received much attention when he was selected as a national poster child.
Well, I was selected for Easter Seals at 4 years old. They liked that I smiled a lot.
His smile won the hearts of many celebrities, including the President of the United States. However, when Alan attended school, life became more challenging.
I got teased things like peg leg and hop along, and you know, and sometimes in elementary school kids can be kind of cruel. And especially if you're a little different, and I had to wear that ugly helmet all the time, and so everybody would kind of look at me, and I was always the last one to get picked on teams because I couldn't run. All of the other kids would run and play dodgeball. It almost like they already lost the game just because they got me on the team.
Alan became an expert at doing yo-yo tricks. When he got older, he had an idea and approached the American toy company to market their yo-yos.
I brought this idea to Japan, and I made $1 a yo-yo from the American toy companies that sold the yo-yos. And so I had an event in the Tokyo Toy Fair where we had 70,000 boys, 9 to 12 years old, come to play yo-yos, and the line was 2.5 miles long. We launched the yo-yo boom in Japan, and in 1 year we sold 10.5 million yo-yos.
Besides his yo-yo business, Alan got into marketing kites. He formed a high-performance kite team and traveled all around the world competing professionally.
We became the world champions in kite flying. It was a great little dream of mine to travel around the world. And so after I started to do this kind of international traveling, I wrote a book on how to be a team flyer. And it really was more of a book on how to work as a team. I've made millions and millions of dollars in business, and people, I guess, look at that as being success. I've raised a really nice family. You know, I've been married for 28 years. So I think a lot of people look at me and say that I have a very special talent. And so it's become almost the opposite, where people are looking at me as being a success story, and use me as an example of what they could do for themselves.
This is Erin Haggerty, reporting for HIKI NŌ from Kainalu Elementary School.
Well, we've come to the end of this episode of HIKI NŌ.
Remember, all these stories were written, shot, and edited by students like us.
We hope you've enjoyed them as much as we've enjoyed sharing them with you.
Make sure to tune in next week for more proof that Hawaii students HIKI NŌ
Can do.
Broadcasts of HIKI NŌ are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI NŌ. And HMSA, helping Hawaii's youth and their families stay healthy today, tomorrow, and for generations to come. HMSA, trusted for generations.